I had a discouraging experience yesterday. Um, I do daycare for kids, and in the playground, there was a group of boys that were standing around looking at a bird that was obviously maimed, hurt. It couldn't fly away. It was a young bird. Perhaps it had fallen out of a tree, and so they're standing there looking at it. And one boy starts kicking some dirt towards the bird, like in its face. And then he picked up a little rock and threw it at the bird. So the dirt was enough. I was on my way. But so I spoke up and said, "Would you like me to throw some of this dirt in your face, in your eyes?" And he didn't think that was a very good idea. And I said, "Well, what if I pick up a big boulder and I throw it at you?" He didn't like that very much either. And they all just stared at me, and I can imagine what they were thinking. I wish I had said, the rest of the boys standing around, there was probably 10 of them who were doing nothing and are silent, are as guilty as the boy that threw the sand in the rock, of course. Non-action, silence. In your silence and in your non-action, you are guilty of abuse. This is seen to some extent in our society. For example, in a bar, the bartender or server, I believe, gives a person who's obviously loaded booze. They leave and get killed or kill someone else. I believe these two people, the bartender who served the drink and the server, are also responsible, or at least can be charged with second-degree murder as well. I'm tried for that. That makes sense to me. There has to be some accountability and responsibility, and there isn't enough in this world. But the really sad part was that later, one of the girls I babysit said to me, "You embarrassed us," because there was two of the girls with me that morning. She said, "You embarrassed us. We didn't like it that you spoke to those boys." And so I said, "Well, I don't care if you liked it or not. That's not what is important. What's important is there was a tiny creature there that was helpless. Instead of assisting and supporting it, everyone stood around. And what you're concerned with is yourself. That you were embarrassed because it was uncool or something." Anyway, also at that time, I did say to girls, go to the janitor and get him to get Box and take the bird to the Humane Society. Take the bird to the veterinarian. And I said that to the boys as well, like, help the bird. Anyway, I'm not doing this vlog to say, "Oh, I'm so great," or "I lectured some little kids." That's not the point at all. It's just an example. And look, it starts young, right? Look how young these kids are. The girls are in grade 1 and 2. The boys look like they were in grade 4, 5, 6. So it starts young. People stand around and watch abuse, and they don't take action. And if someone speaks up, they're the target and they're criticized. I mean, I have thought about not speaking up and saying certain things on my job, of course, to protect my job. But I made a decision, whatever. You kind of got to go through it, right? So I don't back down to this little girl. She goes and tells her mom, whatever. And the mom doesn't like me, and I lose my income. And you might think that's nothing, but to me it's substantial. But whatever. How much am I willing to take that risk? And I'm talking about this in, obviously, the micro, so that we think about the bigger picture. We have to have income. See, it's quite a difficult situation, isn't it? It's a catch-22. You want to speak up, you want to make a difference, but fear. Because society and the elite and the rich got you by the balls, and that's all there is to it, and it's the truth. I know it's not very nice to hear, but they do. It's the truth. And they got me too. I'm not saying they don't. I keep my mouth shut to protect myself and my self-interest to some extent. Some extent I don't. So silence is abuse, plain and simple, and it can't be tolerated. We have to stop that. And we have to stop picking on the injured and weak, because we can't. We can make money from them, maybe as slaves. We can use them as slaves. We do use them as slaves. If any of this makes sense to you, please investigate equalmoney.org. Thank you.